Hey everyone, welcome back to Google Workspace Recap, your number one source for everything Workspace by the Tabgeeks Network. My name is Jesse Nolan, my co-host is Steve Larson, and we're here to help you keep up. We have pricing for Duet AI to share with all of you later in the episode, and we have a lot to say on that. Are they crazy? I know it's expensive to run all of this AI stuff, but come on. Okay, we'll get to it later. Also, Steve and I actually have access to Duet AI as part of the 100,000 or so invites that have gone out over the last couple of days to Google Labs, and so we can talk a bit about that as well. For my nerdy t-shirt of the week, I have one from the OG of YouTube tech folks, Linus Tech Tips, their LTT store shirt. It's a cool circuitry kind of, scene of a moon and mountains and sky made out of circuits. It's pretty cool. I like it. And it's a nice quality shirt, just like last week. So I think I'm going to have to create a website, like a blog post of my nerdy shirts of the week with links so that everybody can go and buy them if you're interested. Anyway, Steve, have you gotten a chance to play with Duet AI at all yet?
I haven't, but you know what? I have talked to a bunch of people that not specifically using Duet, but they're using ChatGPT within their business to, create email marketing campaigns and do 90-day, daily reminder type or like drip campaign things. And, so the AI use is out there and active, in people's day-to-day lives already. So
it's happening. Yeah. It's happening.
Yeah. I mean, I think, by bringing this functionality, directly into Docs and Gmail and having it right there integrated into the application instead of, having to jump out into some other app and, copy it in. Even when it's been, let's say, going to, Bard and then saying, bring it into a Google Doc or bring it into an email. I think having it directly there into the applications are going to make the use of it much more easy and, make people aware of it a lot more.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, ease of use and easy access is definitely two things that are a huge part of adoption of, a new tool with a suite like this. And that's one of the things that Google has done relatively well with the vertical integration across their suite over the years. Obviously, Apple's walled garden approach is another great example of this. And I think that, as they continue rolling this out and finding new ways to tie it in deeper to their tools, it's just going to make our lives much easier. That being said, I was playing around with it a little bit, and I got access to, the Help Me Write feature in Gmail as well as in Docs. And, I asked it to write a podcast segment announcing the rollout of Google Duet, and here's what I got. And I apologize for using the wake word, but for the purpose of this, I absolutely have to. It created, hello, welcome to the Google Duet podcast. I'm Name. Google Duet is a new AI assistant. New AI assistant. Did you catch that? A new AI assistant that can help you with a variety of tasks. It's available on the Google Assistant app. Just say, hey Google, open Duet. You can use Duet to schedule appointments, find information online, translate languages, write emails and text and more. Duet is always learning, so the more you use it, the better it will get. We hope you enjoy using Google Duet, and if you have any feedback, please let us know. Thank you for listening. And then insert music. So as far as the structure goes, great, very short episode. Yeah. What's with the replacement of the Google Assistant with Duet?
Well, I think it's Duet? More of it's opening an app, right? So it says open up the app. So I feel that there's going to be an app on your phone for this functionality,
or
or within the Google Assistant platform, exactly. And then it'll start asking you for other things.
You can hear the buzzing from your phone right there as you try and play with it.
Oh, that's the haptic feedback. That's all that is. You can hear that.
Oh, seriously? No, it sounded like the classic buzzing that happens when you are about to get a text message in the old days.
No,
when it's next to your speakers.
It is. Yeah. I mean,
see.
Interesting. Because the do not disturb's on, but you're getting the feedback sound.
Yeah. Zzz, kind of a thing. But yeah, so I do think that there's definitely going to be
keep that away.
A time in the near future where it is likely to be something that you can launch to help you do tasks. And the weird thing here is and I've been saying this since we started talking about this, I don't know, 6 months ago, more, is the ability to interact and to talk with a natural language model like this is what the Google Assistant and others should have been.
It was built. Yeah, that's what it was meant to be.
Get-go,
right.
in the first place. Like, why? Can we go back in time about 5 years to I/O 2017 and just have them say, announcing the Google Assistant powered by LMM and Google Duet.
Right.
It's like, just compress all of that time. Just skip the pandemic altogether and, go back to there and, hey, this is how it should have been. So I'm really looking forward to that being a reality.
Yeah, I mean, it should just be Google Assistant, really.
Yeah.
It should just be integrated into Google Assistant.
Yeah. Well, Apple this week announced that they're dropping the Hey from Siri in order to launch their assistant, which is interesting. So maybe Google will follow suit.
How though? People,
I don't know.
many people
I use
talk
the word
about
Google so many times
all the time,
a day.
right? It's because it used its own, it used the most popular, search engine name in the world and the adjective to search the internet. So
yeah, well, that was Google's marketing and branding team going, this is what we're going to do. And, sometimes that can get in the way of, I think Amazon really nailed it on the head with Alexa. It's just a really solid, good, easy to remember, easy to use name that will get picked up because of the multiple syllables and whatever. I mean, Siri, if it worked better, sure, but it never really works all that well.
I mean, Bard could be the name.
Sure.
Sure. That could be it, maybe?
Sure.
For the whole platform.
Although I feel like Duet is more where they'd be going with that. Bard is just the chatbot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Duet is the whole category. I don't know.
It
is early days, folks.
It's not really like a name of someone.
It's
like
not.
What Alexa and Siri kind of appear to be.
Bard is a descriptor, though. Yeah.
Well, right, but Bard sounds like it could be a name.
Yes.
Or Duet just doesn't. The other thing too that I'm curious about with Duet AI and this integration within Workspace with Gmail and Docs is is it going to start to leverage your corporate information and resources and documents that you have access to then answer what you're asking it, because that's really that what companies and what people in the company kind of need. It's like if I could have it start writing, things specific to my industry, specific to my company, say, hey, Duet, build a sales invoice for this product and this product and this product at a 20% markup.
Yep.
Yep.
I've already been having conversations with some clients about building something using the AI tools in GCP for this exact use case, but also take a look at all of our, accessible not public, but accessible company data, obviously not looking at people's, private communications and stuff, but any of the databases that are generally used to create dashboards or things like that, and just have there be a chatbot that you can ask questions to. So instead of having to go to the BI team, you just say, okay, company bought Bard, tell me this and this statistic, tell me this and this information that I'm looking for.
Tell me last month's sales for the Midwest region, right?
Exactly. How's our inventory doing on this and this thing, and so on. And so, it's definitely going to be seeing a lot of use cases in that area.
Right.
I'm just curious to see how many of them Google's going to build into as part of like a low code, like if they built out sort of like not an app sheet, like a building blocks thing where you could build your own just by putting together different components. Here's the data source, here's the block, go and train, here's how you access it, here's who can access it, and then you just, launch it. That would, I think, be incredibly powerful for end users to be able to tap into all of that.
And I hate to say it, but I think we're going to probably never see that within it. It's going to be left to third-party companies building on top of like the AI, and then you having to specifically say, okay, give access to my corporate data, or this data, and having, companies say, hey, we're providing this, integration into your corporate data, because that's happening with certain AI tools right now.
Yeah, and I think that's where Google is also taking this a little bit slow when it comes to releasing to the enterprise, because there are certain things where it's like, yeah, you can have this, but you have to take into consideration the fact that, these things are going to Google. Like, what was it in the assisted writing on Android? Was it for chat? It was like I'm trying to remember what it was. Shoot. Basically, the warning with it was your last 20 messages will be sent to Google to their servers, even though it's encrypted end to end. I think it was the Google Messages. It's like Help Me Write for Google Messages on Android, perhaps.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
Oh, here we
Yeah.
go.
Like the
You go to
auto
Magic
response.
Compose. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And the warning that came out with that is it sends your messages to Google. And I think we talked about this a little while ago. The beta for Magic Compose is a new messages feature that uses AI to help you write text messages. Apparently, the feature comes with a very big caveat. It will send up to 20 previous messages to Google servers to generate suggestions, even if you're using RCS with end-to-end encryption. So that's obviously not going to fly in a megacorp enterprise that, or even a smaller company that has highly secure information. Somebody who's a fintech startup, for example, isn't going to want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. So I think that related to that, Google is taking the slow and steady pace when it comes to the larger orgs, unless they get full blanket authorization. But they haven't even built out that granularity yet.
Just do hey,
the granularity isn't there yet. Even it's not even a simple one for the experimental apps. It's just all of them right now. So they're going to build out that infrastructure first, and then they'll be able to start opening that up to everybody, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Few topics.
Moving on to topics. Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, what do we got?
Good number of updates this week. Pretty good number of things in the news, and a few updates within our other products that we cover during the week. So, two silent releases here in the end of week recap post. The first one is optimizing the Google Drive Android app for foldable devices, and then the second one is you can now view documents in paginated mode on Android devices. And in terms of paginated,
Where's the?
I feel like it's like a GIF. It's a GIF thing here. It's one of those. Hopefully, updates that we saw during the week. 7 of those. First one is that you can simplify and strengthen sign-in by enabling passkeys for your users. We did talk about this last week, and it is actually now available for most users, probably g.co/passkeys. If you want to check that one out, we'll talk more about that a little bit later, though. You can write messages faster and easier with Smart Compose in Google Chat. You can also now visit a class using a new option in Google Classroom. There's an improved experience for admitting or denying join requests in Google Meet. Next, we have an updated user experience for the email log search tool. And is this actually new? Oh, no, I mean, it is for most people. This has been updated for me for a long time now. I think it's been a good, 5 months. I think I've seen this. All right. Next, we have an enhanced experience for picture-in-picture for Google Meet in Chrome. And then the assistant and calendar reminders are automatically migrating to tasks here. In terms of some other releases that we saw within the last week, Bard has some updates here for Bard can code for you for an improved math and data analysis. And then also you can export Bard generated tables to Google Sheets. There's also an update with Drive for Desktop, pretty simple one. I won't go into too much detail on that again, but I'll just say that it is updated to version 76. And that just has some additional bug fixes and performance improvements. Meet Hardware also seeing an update there. A few things that we'll cover towards the end. A few what's new items and a few what's fixed items with that. And then some things in the news. So we see that Duet AI for Google Workspace Enterprise has hit the pre-order for businesses there. Also an article. That's the 9 to 5 article, and then of course we have the official Google announcement for that as well, and we'll talk a little bit about the pricing for that. Next, kind of complementing the update around passkeys, the Google security blog has an article regarding that. So long passwords, thanks for all the fish, as the title of that article, which is kind of a nice catchy. Get that nice catchy title. For all you fishermen out there.
It's also a throwback to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, is it? Okay.
What? You didn't catch that?
No, I haven't. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it like the full thing.
Read the book.
I've not read it either.
That's your homework. Go home and read that book. You are home. Go to the library and get it out, or buy it on Amazon.
And then finally, Chrome is adding full Google Password Manager UI for completes with desktop. Oh, here we go. I'll show you a little comment here. It's just Google Chrome is adding full Google Password Manager UI complete with desktop shortcut. So there you go. That's everything we're going to cover this week. So we will jump into those first updates here. And I think I clicked on, I gotta click out of this. Open up the log search article first. First one is that optimization of Google Drive Android app for foldable devices. It's kind of as we have been talking about these updates all year. Finally, the devices out, and we continue to see more updates for these foldable devices now that Google has their own. So now when you're using the Google Drive app on that foldable device, you'll notice that controls within the item preview viewer will intelligently respond to what position the foldable device is in, either it being opened, closed, partially open, or partially opened, and adjust accordingly.
It's nice that they finally have a device to put these little screen renders on that they can show off.
Look at that.
Is the Pixel Fold instead of just the screenshots as it has been until now.
I just wonder when that device is going to hit, sales and discounts when it just ends up probably not selling, right? I have a feeling it's not going to sell as well as the Pixel devices.
Yeah, I'm biding my time to buy the other Duet, the Microsoft Duet. I think that's what they call it, their foldable.
Oh, really? They've called it the same as like the Google AI tool?
Didn't they? Oh, maybe it used to be. No, what the hell was it called? Well, Duet is a new name. What was their foldable called? Am I blanking on this? Wasn't it original? Oh, the Surface Duo. I think it was codenamed Duet. Maybe I'm crazy on this, but I think once upon a time it was called Duet. Maybe I'm hallucinating, just like Bard.
I don't know.
But I want it just because it's like, yeah. I want it just because it's an iconic, first major produced device.
There's a Lenovo Duet.
No. Is that
Surface
a foldable?
Pro versus it's Lenovo IdeaPad Duet 5i. It's 2-in-1.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's what you're thinking of.
I don't know. Never mind.
There's the Dell Concept Duet laptop. There's that also. That was a foldable.
Maybe.
All right.
I think I'm just hallucinating.
Well, the Concept Duet looks cool though, from Dell. They also had that like magnetic camera that I really want. That's what I wish they had released.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I put it in the middle of my screen and then have a good view for podcasting and stuff. All right. And then next update we have here in the silent releases is that you can now view documents in paginated mode on Android devices. So documents on tablets and foldables will now be in paginated mode upon first open, unless the document is set to pageless, which a lot of my documents are becoming pageless. Very few are paged, in fact. And that wraps up those two. Next, we jump into our main updates for the week. So first one being the one we talked about last week in terms of Passkeys. So the open beta is now available, so you can simplify and strengthen sign-in by enabling Passkeys for your users. If you want to do this as an admin, head over into the admin console and enable that first. That will then allow users to head over to their into their security keys section. So g.co/passkeys will take the user there, and then they will be able to set up those devices that they can authenticate with. So, I have my Pixel devices kind of listed there already as I've signed into my accounts on my phone already with those. And then it was really simple to just first enable Passkeys and then set up the the MacBook fingerprint on my accounts. It's a pretty quick and seamless process. A lot fewer screens than setting up a security key now with Google. So, security keys now added like a 5-screen click-through, menu when you try to go add a security key. Whereas this just has like one. That's it. It doesn't even ask you to save the name of the device. You have to actually go in there after the fact and edit the name if you want to. Whereas Passkeys kind of have that option, I think, in part of the click-through. Or maybe they changed it actually, but it's all those different, different screens in the interstitials there of telling you what security keys are all about. But this one just, I think back on Chromebooks, this has really been available on Chromebooks for such a long time with the security key feature where you could, enable that, press the power button, and then have that device act as a security key. So this, just adds some additional level of features and functionality in terms of, fingerprint and device ID and that authentication there. And that's available across a broader range of devices and not just the Chromebooks. So, with that in mind, there's a decent amount of information here in the article talking about how that all works. Talking about security of it, the ease of authentication, and how fast and quick and easy that is. There is an article about making authentication faster than ever, passkeys versus passwords from May. Again, that's also on the security blog. So it will give you some more insight into authentication and login times, things like that. Interesting that they're not actually comparing this to, they're comparing this to like standard password authentication, but they're actually not comparing this to, I guess maybe password would include password plus security key, right?
Yeah.
So this, I guess, eliminates the need for password and security key and just takes you straight into passkey, for example. Let me click back into the article here so we can get the details on the rollout. Rollout on this one. I think hopefully that covered everything of use. I didn't read through the whole article there just yet. I was kind of just ad-libbing that entire section. So hopefully I covered enough of it for people to kind of get the gist of what that is. If I missed anything, though, feel free to check out that article. It does talk about the different kind of biometrics and things like that support with fingerprint, face recognition, or kind of other screen lock mechanisms on the phones, laptops, and desktops. Rollout for this one is going to be on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility starting on the 5th of June. And that's for both wrapped release and scheduled release domains. This is available to all Workspace customers and Cloud Identity customers. Next, the ability to write messages faster and easier with Smart Compose in Google Chat. So providing some of those, pre-completed sentences as you are typing there, making it easier to write high-quality emails and content faster with Smart Compose in Chat now, which previously was available in Docs and Gmail. So this is now coming into Chat, and this just makes it a little bit more quicker and easier to kind of complete what you are wanting to respond to people with. This is going to be available in a couple languages here on Rollout. It's available in English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Italian. And Rollout for this one is going to be on an extended rollout, potentially longer than 15 days, starting on the 5th of June for rapid release domains. Starts on the 26th of June for scheduled release domains, on a gradual rollout there, up to 15 days for visibility. And this is available to all Workspace customers as well as those personal Google accounts.
Yeah, I like this one. This is something that Google was talking about, I think, at I/O, about the millions of hours that they've saved from people having to type out the full sentence because it autofills. Although there are some things about it that I still wish they would refine, such as if I'm writing an email on a Friday afternoon and I start saying, "Have a great or it should automatically go great weekend instead of great day.
Day, yeah. Should know what day of the week it is. True.
It should,
Yeah.
yeah, more contextual awareness. And that's been my biggest complaint about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Always is
Well,
here, have my
see,
data. More contextual awareness, please.
Yeah, I don't see. That's the thing. I don't think it's that smart, actually.
It's not.
I mean, it seems like it's smart, but it actually isn't. It's just very basic, algorithm, or not the algorithm. It's just more like, oh, look at this data and think, oh, what's the most common thing that you would respond with this kind of question, or with this structure. It's not really, oh, it's a Friday, it's 3:00. You're this user, you have access to this information, and then how would I best answer this based on this unique set of data that is like I said, more contextual.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Looking at the next update, which is visit a class using a new option in Google Classroom. So this is kind of a little change to things here. So because previously education leaders and other support staff had to be added as permanent co-teachers in Google Classroom if they wanted to provide support to teachers, manage substitutes, and check on student progress. But now you'll be able to visit a class which allows permissioned users to temporarily access classes to support educators, post announcements, view student profiles, and more without being assigned as a permanent co-teacher. So just providing a little bit, like a support role, essentially, a support role for classrooms. That's really what this is.
Pop in.
Yeah, exactly. And look at that. I mean, this is where it actually is. It's an admin role and gives someone the ability to manage classrooms there from the kind of classroom interface. So that is what you would need to do if you want to make someone a classroom administrator, admin support person. So this is going to roll out on the rapid release and scheduled release domains. This is for the admin console setting. It'll start the 6th of June on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility. And then the actual rollout of the functionality will be on the 12th of June for both rapid release and scheduled release domains, also on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility there. This is only going to be available, though, to those that have Google Workspace for Education Plus licenses assigned to them. So not available to us Workspace users, it seems, or those non-Education Plus customers. Well, I was going to do the rollout. Yeah, I was going to take a sneak peek. Sometimes I always wonder if they have actually given it to the Workspace users and admins, but let me see. Oh, got to add my security key. Hold on. Oh,
Now, if it had been a passkey.
I know, right? This is another account that I'm logging into, which I don't have it added yet. I wonder if it actually will do that for like the two-step verification process.
That'd be cool.
We shall see. I could kind of grab it. Hold on, let me just dip out of screen here.
A few moments later.
Nope, can't do it because I'm using all three connections right now for the podcast. All right, we'll have to check it later.
I'll have to cut all this out and post.
Cut it out. That's what That's what we did. I'm just trying to check.
That's what we do.
Do things live. That's what we do.
Test it in live.
Yeah. All right. So talked about availability, rollout to that. Look at the next one. We have some improved experience for admitting and denying join requests in Google Meet. So there's the kind of old admitting experience where you had a kind of a single line of all these people want to join, and you could just say deny all or view all, and then you'd go into like a different screen and see what all that was. You can now start to kind of see this. I'm just trying to see this here in my view, more kind of on the side panel of people. So as that pops up, it'll just be integrated into the people section there. So it'll be a little bit more just kind of built into the existing people management of that area. So it won't like kind of disturb the meeting, for example, because what was happening before is it was, if you were presenting or if you were interacting with something, it would just kind of like pop up and kind of break the meeting experience for you. So that's what's happening with the rollout. Some good images there to show you what that before and after looks like. Rollout for this one is going to be on a full rollout starting on the 7th of June for rapid release domains, and then on a full rollout for with 1 to 3 day visibility starting on the 15th of June for scheduled release domains. And it's available to all Workspace customers as well as those with personal Google accounts. Next, that updated user interface for the email log search tool. So it is coming into that security investigation tool look and feel. It was a little bit took a little bit of getting used to initially when I was kind of using it.
Yep.
But yeah, so and I'm just like looking back into when that was, because I remember posting that over in Mac admins actually from me. Let's see, and when this actually started rolling out. What is it called? Email log search, right? Yep, changed for me. Here we go. February 6th.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know it's been a while. I was like, it's been a long time. Yeah, I posted it Monday, February 6th that it changed for me. So it's been out there for a while. But yeah, if you are not seeing that yet, there are some good screenshots of what to expect and how to, kind of interact there with those custom searches and predefined searches in the dialog boxes there. So rollout for everyone, it probably should be coming and finalizing to everyone pretty soon, because rollout for this one started on the 7th of June for both rapid release and scheduled release domains on that gradual rollout schedule up to 15 days for visibility. And, they list a whole bunch of availability SKUs here. I think it's pretty much everyone. There's a long list: Business Starter, Standard, Business Plus. Yeah, it looks like it's just coming to basically every SKU that has access to Gmail is really what what that list looks like there. Obviously, it doesn't list Cloud Identity because they don't have access to email, or Frontline. Frontline Starter, Standard. Yep, that's there too, because there's email for that actually. So yeah, all the Google Gmail enabled SKUs will take advantage of that. All right. Next, there's an enhanced experience for picture-in-picture for Google Meet in Chrome. So the picture-in-picture experience is going to be a little bit more engaging here and feature-rich. So directly from the picture-in-picture window, you now can raise your hand, use in-meeting chat, turn captions on and off. You can more effectively resize the picture-in-picture window, and you can access flexible layouts. And Jesse, I don't know if you saw in the upcoming feature releases, is pretty soon you will be able to raise your hand and without clicking the button, and it will raise your hand for you. Yes.
I did not see that. I haven't actually checked that in a little while. I probably should.
That is a coming soon feature that they're building out. So you don't have to click the button. You just actually raise your hand, and then Google Meet will recognize that you are raising your hand.
Very nice. I need it to automatically recognize that I put my hand over my mouth and then mute my microphone.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Now, was that a mute? Hold on, was that a mute or was it just clean my mouth?
Yeah.
Can't tell.
Well, I really am a huge fan of this feature. I actually use this a lot. And for a very long time, I forgot it existed in the first place, because it's not like normally you right-click and you do picture-in-picture. You actually, for the Meet pop-out picture-in-picture, you have to go to the three dots and select to pop it out. And for a long time, I had forgotten it was there, and then I realized that that's where it was hiding, and I started using it again, especially when I'm on just a single Chromebook and not on my, massive screen real estate set up here. And now the ability to raise your hand and use the chat has been two things that have been driving me crazy for every time I use it. I'm like, I have to go back to the window in order to use these. So thank you, Google, for adding that. That's my bit there.
Yeah, there's quite a few things that they list in development for Google Meet on the upcoming Google Workspace release, but a lot of them actually come out, as far as I can tell. So, things like the instant self-check in the green room, I thought that came out. Like some of the improved image quality and poor lighting, that seems to have come out already, I thought.
Yeah.
But a couple of those, I think, are new. Paired participant tiles in Google Meet. So yeah, there's a few things there in development we're checking out, and across a lot of other products as well. So
Also, shout out to the excellent quality of this and several of the other screenshots.
there you go.
Thank you.
Pretty good this week.
Yeah.
All right. So rollout for this one. This one started on the 7th of June, and this is going to be coming out on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility across both rapid release and scheduled release domains, and all Workspace customers, as well as those with personal accounts, are going to see that feature. And then finally, this is just kind of an update to the update that we saw back in September about migrating reminders from Google Calendar and Google Assistant to Google Tasks. So this is going to start to happen. So they are going to be migrated starting today, and today being June 8th, which is when that post was made. So to kind of help ensure that smooth transition, they're kind of reminding admins here and end users that you need to verify that the task service is on for your organization. And if service is off, then any reminder data will not be migrated to tasks, and the reminders data deletion will be initiated after June 22nd. So you can also enable your organization to use Takeout in case you want users to export their Assistant and Calendar reminders. And if your end users want to use Assistant to manage tasks after the migration, you need to adjust settings for Search and Assistant users and turn on access to Workspace data. Just some helpful reminders there for admins, and about if you're using your end user. Of course, your admin's got to start to enable those things for you if you want to be able to do those certain things. And there's also a migration here section about using a personal Google account. Those will begin to automatically migrate in June. And they're going to share some information on that timeline in a future update on the Google Workspace Updates blog. Interesting that they're going to provide an update for personal Google account stuff on Workspace, the Workspace Update blog. But yeah, I guess if you're a consumer user, you should follow the Workspace Updates blog as well.
And you should listen to our Google Workspace recap show.
There you go. And as expected, this is going to impact all Google Workspace customers, as well as personal Google account users. They don't mention that, but I think as that last section said, it will impact personal Google accounts also at some point. So that wraps up all of the main published releases for Workspace. We did, as I said, see an update for Bard. So Bard coding updates here. So starting with English, they've updated Bard to detect computational prompts and run code in the background, making Bard a little bit better at mathematical tasks, coding questions, and string manipulation. That is the what. And then the why is that we're supercharging your ability to analyze data by making Bard a little bit better at that computation. Of course, they always caveat it with it won't get it always right, but we'll keep improving with your feedback. Yep. And then next, being able to export Bard-generated tables to Google Sheets. So
that's cool.
Really, once the tables are generated there in Bard, you can export those into Sheets and make it easier to move that into an application where you can start to manipulate that data and work with it. The drive for desktop version 76, just additional bug fixes and performance improvements there. Google Meet hardware, there is an update with that coming on June 20th. The Google Meet hardware updates, they love to post the updates about a week before they actually occur. So we're going to be seeing this around the 20th of June. There's some new things to the next version of Chrome OS, where there's improvements to accessibility functionality, improvements to camera stability, some security patches, and then it says what's new. I guess what's fixed. I mean, security patches would be what's fixed, really. And camera stability. Those are really fixes, aren't they? So
New fixes.
I guess it just says what's new. I don't know if that's new, but it should just be what's fixed.
Yeah.
Fixed an issue. There's in the what's fixed section now, they fixed an issue where TVs were being recognized as both a speaker and a microphone. They've also fixed an issue with the Series 1 touch controller display where it was periodically going into black. And then in other news, we have a few things here with Duet AI and passwords and Chrome's password manager that I will let Jesse talk more about.
All right. So if you've been living under a rock for a while, Google has this new thing called Duet AI. It is for Workspace Enterprise, and it is designed to help you work better, faster, etc. And it is now available for pre-order. So this is a blog post that goes through kind of a little bit of the marketing lingo, what it can do, helping you write and refine content in Gmail and Docs, creating original images from text right within slides, turning ideas into action and data into insights with Sheets, helping to foster more meaningful connections in Google Meet, keeping you in the flow of work with AI, building blocks in Docs, etc., etc. And at the end of the article here, it says if you're interested in pre-ordering Duet for Google Workspace Enterprise, please fill out this form, which is a standard Google Doc form, and they said that they will have more information to share on availability for small business, education, and consumers in the coming months. But we have some advanced information for all of you ahead of the curve here. Now, again, this is for enterprise only, so keep that in mind. Unless otherwise noted, prices are shown per user, per month, and with an annual commitment. So this is not flex plan pricing. For flex pricing, there is a different chart than what we're going to show over here. It is available for all Google Workspace editions except Enterprise Starter and Business Starter. So the moment you've all been waiting for, and the moment that's going to piss you all off, it is available for pre-order starting June 23, that's 2023, so next month, for a list price of $30. $30 per person per month.
Per month.
On a yearly commit. What?
Yep.
Why?
If you want if you want some flexible pricing, get it for $36 a year. How about that?
At least match what they're charging for ChatGTP, which is $20 per person per month.
Yeah.
I get that this costs a lot of money. I get that it's brand new. I get that it's super cool. I get that everyone's talking about it. I get that Google is dying for ways to make money off of this type of a thing, and that it is, the biggest hot ticket item. But double the monthly subscription of the freaking seat of the entire Google Workspace for one feature?
Yeah. I'm just going to go over to Bard and do it for free.
Exactly.
Unless Docs and Gmail and all that stuff is going to integrate into my corporate data, why would I go and pay for it? Why?
I don't understand this.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, there's all these other little sections here. Docs proofreader, slides help me visualize, help me organize in Sheets. Intelligent classification in Sheets, and then the Meet stuff. I'm not really sure.
Part of this? The Meet stuff, studio lighting and Meet, live translated captions, we already have those things.
Right. So are they going to shift it? Are they going to shift it over to this and take it away from the main product? Enhanced audio, enhanced video?
They just hauled ass to.
Is that 1080p going to move over to Duet?
Oh my God.
Is that what it means?
Oh my God, no. No, they just hauled ass to overhaul Meet so that they could catch Zoom after years of being behind because of the pandemic because Google was lollygagging for a while. But now they're going to take these away, enhance video Meet, enhance audio and Meet, studio lighting, and live translated captions, all listed as part of the $30 per month per user for Duet AI? Nah, they can't.
I don't know.
Oh,
we'll see.
My God.
Right?
I don't get it. Granted, Microsoft hasn't released their pricing for what they're going to charge yet, and I think that there's going to be more to this. Essentially there'll probably be different tiers of what's available because Google is acting very Microsoft like in that regard. And I imagine that Microsoft, when they do come out with their pricing, is going to have lots of different tiers because for anybody who is familiar with Microsoft licensing, you need a degree in Microsoft licensing just to be familiar with Microsoft licensing. And, it's incredibly complex and Google is headed that direction. A lot more than they used to be, but I think that anybody in the Microsoft camp that has a copy of this is probably, doing laps and cheers and opening champagne because Google took the first bite over here and $30 per person per month.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Are we nuts here? Like, are you going to? I don't think so. You cut out the entire SMB market. Nobody's going to pay for this. You'll get 2 or 3 users per organization, maybe that's using this because they're power users or something. They convinced their boss to let them spend the money, but nobody's rolling this out at scale. Seriously, not a chance. I don't know. Am I totally off base? What do you think, Steve?
No, I mean, I'm not going to be paying for anything like this. I wouldn't be suggesting this to anyone to use it at that price. So I don't know. I don't see the business value in it just yet.
Yeah, like $20 per person.
Like at that
I'd
price.
pay for entire teams in my group to have it, in my organization to have access to all of that, like marketing, sure, easy. IT, sure, easy. Some of the writers, legal, maybe. Legal is extremely old-fashioned usually. But $30 per person per month, I'm taking a much harder look at who's going to get access to this for that price point. If Google wanted to just be really smart about this, I mean, first of all, somebody had to take the first shot, right? So it's going to be Google or Microsoft. Microsoft already lists what they charge for, what do they call it? Copilot? Do you remember what they charge for that?
10?
It's $10 per month. That's right. $10 per month per user for a app or a tool that helps you write code, which Bard is also trying to do.
Oh, maybe it's 20
well.
Actually. Maybe 20.
Is it? I thought it was 10.
I don't know. I just saw a search result that said, oh no, it's 10.
It's 10.
Oh, yeah. But that's the personal. So GitHub Copilot for business is 19 per month. Copilot for like individual users and like GitHub is 10.
Right.
So
okay.
10 and 19.
Yeah. I mean, this is an add-on. This isn't a new SKU. You're not doubling the price. Like most people aren't paying for the $30 a month enterprise tier.
Right.
I'm not for Tab Geeks, but we're a small group, so obviously that's not the best example there, but still.
Yeah, but I think also we probably have to think that Google is probably going to do something, like initial discounts and offers like they do with
of course
the Workspace tiers anyways.
Those run out and then all of a sudden it's $30 a month per person and you're just like, whoa. Sure. I mean, they've been, for those who aren't aware of this, they've been slowly raising the prices to Workspace over the years, which makes sense because the value you get out of this is amazing. But I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm very happy that Microsoft is finally showing up and putting on real competition in the cloud connected space as opposed to just the Office suite space, technically, because it is causing Google to be more innovative here and actually have competition. But I don't know. I can't believe that this is going to be the final option, the only option. If you make it $10 a month for this, I'd sign up a lot more people than I would for $30 per month per person. That adds up insanely fast.
I think at 10, it would be, a very easy decision for an organization to add that on.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think almost anyone would. You'd add that on definitely to your users that are creating emails, creating documents, those kind of those
Every single one of my power users would get that for $10 a month.
Yeah.
And there's a decent number of them. One of my clients is a real estate company, and another client is.
Yeah, I mean, I think most organizations you'd probably see, at least 25 to 30% of their users fall into that category.
Yeah, and there's always going to be people that don't use it as much, but those are also people where if you're large enough, you have a partial domain licensing, and you have those on lower SKUs. Obviously you're not going to give the maintenance workers access to this. They don't use frontline folks. They don't use they don't use the computer for most of their work anyway.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
they're obviously not going to sign them up for this. But anybody who is a hardcore, like, really good tech user, power user, etc., 100%. But for $30,
Yeah.
that's a hard sell. All right, more on this as the information continues to come out. Obviously, this is still very early and not technically officially 100% fully. I mean, it is, but it isn't fully released. But stay tuned because I'm sure we're going to see more on this. So that's that. I had clicked on the Google Workspace blog article, but we also have a 9 to 5 article that talks about Duet AI launching, etc.
Yeah.
Then the next one that we talked about, so long, and thanks for all the fish. And Steve, dude, seriously, go get the book and read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so that you can actually, redeem your geek cred card here. Everybody should be familiar with that one. But essentially, this is an article that I missed when we were talking about Passkeys originally. And first of all, I love the reference. Second of all, it's a great post here on the Google Security blog that goes in deeper on creating, using, how does it work under the hood for passkeys, and I think that that's valuable information to share with all of you, so I wanted to make sure to include this in the notes. So if you're interested in that, go into the show notes and take a look. And last but not least, in the category of, once again, what in the hell took them so long, Google is adding full Google Password Manager UI, complete with a desktop shortcut. So essentially, you are now, and is that part of this article? You're now able to unlock passwords with biometric security. Here it is. Google says that biometric authentication is coming soon to desktop. I've actually already seen it. So it is rolling out. Essentially requires additional verification before Chrome autofills a password. And this is the number one thing that has caused people to talk about why Google password management in their browser is a terrible idea, is because if anybody has access to your password, they can just easily, or has access to your computer if it's logged in, they don't need your password again in order to get into your websites because Chrome will always autofill. And this solves that easily because it implements exactly that, is that it will give you a prompt for, fingerprint or your password or whatnot. So there. And they did solve it a little while ago because if you wanted to view it, they solved that side of it where you did have to put in your password, but autofill definitely still automatically happens. Now, you are going to likely have a lot of people that are going to complain about this because, again, walking that line between security and usability, you got to find the nice, comfortable medium there. This will slow them down a little bit because it doesn't autofill. They have to, put in their authentication. It's an extra step. It's an extra beat. So, be forewarned of that. Keep that in mind as that starts to roll out. For starters, the article goes on, Password Manager now appears in Chrome's 3-dot overflow menus. So it's going to be a lot easier to get to your Password Manager instead of having to go to the 3-dot settings and then autofill and then passwords in order to get into that screen. So now you have a new dedicated UI with a key logo and a search bar up top. So a lot of work went into this, it seems. Passwords is the first tab, which is a simple list and the ability to add shortcuts. You can now import passwords via a CSV file, so that's cool. And you can sync them, of course, across any other Chrome that you're logged into. And lastly here, Google is now letting you add notes to save credentials, so you can view them quickly when browsing by tapping the key icon in your address bar. So good extra bunch of features here that are being added to Google Password Manager if you are still using that. Many of us are not, simply because we've all moved on over the years to using, previously LastPass and other options such as OnePass and Keeper and so on. But for those who are still using this is going to be a very, very welcome group of updates here.
Yeah, it's nice. And I mean, if you want to test it out, I know Canary has it. Has it in there? I think Stable does not have it just yet. Stable being for me right now, version 114.
Right.
Is what I'm on. So when I try to go to that URL, Chrome/password-manager /passwords, it was not there. It might be available on on Dev or Beta, but it's definitely available on Canary. And if you want to test that out, it is kind of there. It doesn't have all of the menu options, I think, that Oh no, it does. So passwords, checkup, settings. Yeah, looks like it's all there. And trying to see if there's anything else here that I'm seeing that's not there. So it automatically looks the same. Import passwords. Oh yeah, so there's a few things that it's not showing the same as what I see in the screenshot. So it doesn't have set up on-device encryption yet. That's a new one there.
Hmm.
Yep. So I wonder if that's
Cool.
just kind of built in now. But
All right. Well, that's all for this week. Folks, send us your questions and comments on Twitter, Workspace Recap, and on our website, workspacerecap.com. Hit the subscribe button, thumbs up. You know what to do. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week on Google Workspace Recap.